idea the amount of ignorant mess we're about to get into right now.
Sit your $5 ass down before I meet you.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. This is episode 178, Bucktown. This is starring Fred Williamson. This is the 1975 action crime blaxploitation film. Again, it stars Fred Williamson as Duke Johnson, a man who arrives in Bucktown to bury his brother who's been killed, who was a bar owner, and then he finds out like the town is being run by a bunch of crooked white cops. What did you? This is the first time I've seen this movie. This is the first time you've seen this movie. What did you think?
So I thought the movie was okay. It's got all the trappings of, it's got the makings of like a classic blaxploitation movie. Like the trailer really fooled me, right? Like this movie has like fucking Fred Williamson, and it's got Pam Grier. It's got Pam Grier's co-stars. It has a little kid in it. They're always cool in these movies because they're like they're grown up. They're jive talking and shit.
Yeah.
It's got crooked white people. It's got crooked authority. It's got black people beating the shit out of and or murdering white people, which is always good.
I mean, with extreme prejudice, I would argue.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't give a fuck in this movie.
But at the same time, I think movies like Three the Hard Way really spoiled me, man, because that's what I was expecting from this, and I didn't quite get that. This this felt like they took this movie very, very seriously.
Yeah, they didn't need to.
Yeah, they really didn't.
They didn't need to. No, I agree.
I needed these guys to come and play. And, the twist in the movie, the second half of it, I wasn't expecting because the trailer didn't really give it away. And, but at the same time, Fred Williamson is driving like a military vehicle to break his boy out of jail. And it's like, it didn't hit for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I guess that's a reason why this isn't like spoken of in like the classic blaxploitation.
Yeah, it's not in the pantheon of like Three the Hard Way and shit like that.
It's a good movie. It's an okay movie. The story, I can appreciate the messages, especially right now. Like,
right now, right? Because we chose this movie as a total break from like any level of seriousness, and I was like, "What are you doing, movie? Like, what are you doing? Don't make me think. This is wrong. I wasn't here for this."
Right. We just can't get away from it. But
right.
But yeah, it's an okay movie. If you've got brown sugar, I would watch it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to see it.
I was gonna say, actually, I don't know how this works, but it is on YouTube. Like, just search Bucktown. Like, it says like original theatrical version. Like, you can find it for free. I guess they figured like, who cares if people steal this? No one gives a shit. So yeah, if you haven't watched Bucktown, you can just watch it on YouTube. It's free. It's an hour and a half. Like, it's a pretty easy watch. So the budget for this movie is $370,000, which is crazy. And I always try to mention the budgets for blaxploitation movies just because I think it's important to realize that these movies single-handedly saved Hollywood at their time, right? Yeah. And so that's just very cool. Like that, like these micro budget movies were just really, really popular. Not just with black people either. Like, they were popular movies. I mean, some were great, some were not so great. And then, some are sort of middling, like this one I think is. Again, I agree with you. I was not expecting any level of message. I was shocked to see that. But I appreciated it. Like, I was like, yeah. I mean, they got a little Terry Crews-y, I would argue.
It did. Yeah.
It did. It got a little Terry Crews-y. But overall, like Fred Williamson is still the coolest nigga on earth in everything he's in.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he just writes that into his contract. He's like, look, I get it. I'm going to be in a movie with Jim Brown and Jim Kelly, but here's what I'm going to need. I'm still going to need to be the coolest nigga here. And they're just like, you're right. Like, and he's just the coolest dude in this movie. He's got some pretty great lines. Like, he's always got that thin, long cigar. He looks like a badass all the time. You know, he doesn't take no shit off of anybody, including just like straight cops. He's like, oh, word? No, I'll kill you right here. And you're like, I don't think you should.
Right up in this goddamn police station and fucking smack you upside the head.
Yeah, like you can't just talk to the chief of police in a racist white town like this. Fred Williamson is like, no, but I'm going to. I'm like, all right, that's fair. I'm gonna watch. So I did appreciate that. It's a fun watch. It doesn't. You're right. It doesn't hit like Three the Hard Way does, which was just, I mean, the culmination of absolute madness, but just such a good time. This one has moments of that, where Three the Hard Way I felt was just like balls to the wall from the jump. These niggas had capes on in the beginning, like that movie was on a different plane altogether. Yeah, but I liked the twist. I thought the twist was cool. I did. You're right. Like the trailer gave away nothing, so I appreciated that.
That's what a fucking trailer's supposed to do, man.
Right, to get you in the seats, which it did. I mean, shit. I only watched half the trailer, and I was like, and I don't even need to watch the rest. I got it. I figured it out. I'm in for this. Yeah, Pam Grier is in this. Carl Weathers is in this as a character named Hambone. Let me just say this. Carl Weathers has not aged. Like, between this and Predator, Carl Weathers didn't age.
Yeah, he didn't.
He really didn't. I was like, I expected, I don't know why, in my mind, I expected Carl Weathers to be like 12 years old in this movie before seeing it. Like, just when I knew he was in it, I was like, oh, he'll be a teenager. Nah, yo.
Yeah.
He like a grown-ass man.
Like, when I saw that little kid, I was like, is that
Is that Carl Weathers?
He might be a little too young.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, okay, that's really weird. Like, all right, I mean, Predator was 87. This was 75. That nigga did not age like a single day between those movies. Like, it's wild. And I like we said when we covered, what was that movie? Action Jackson, on, I think that was No Time to Bleed. Like the fact that Carl Weathers was not a massive action star is ridiculous. I can only chalk that up to racism.
It 100% is racism. That's why, like, because you can only have one black guy at the moment. And with action heroes, you can pretty much only have one or two action heroes of the moment. Right. No matter what the race. But you can only have one black guy at the moment, and he better be a jack of a lot of different trades, right? Like, right. He can't just be an action person, right? And which is why Michael Jai White, we all love Michael Jai White. He should have been a bigger success.
Oh, 100%. He should have been.
He's an okay actor, but
he's just as good as Arnold or Stallone.
Right.
Like, come on.
Carl Weathers should have been after Predator, his career should have taken off, dude. Like, right. He should have been.
The fact that we only know him from Rocky and Predator, and some people know him from like movies later on in his career, but like that whole chunk of his career, like right. Rocky, Predator, like the 80s, all the 90s where you didn't see Carl Weathers is ridiculous to me. This is absolutely ridiculous. That's one of the big like failures of Hollywood, is that guy, it should have been like Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Weathers, Bruce Willis. Like that should have been, and like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like those guys should have been all over those action movies. And I can think of a couple movies that like Stallone and Schwarzenegger did that Weathers probably could have done. Like just straight up replaced him. Replace him with them. So, but I digress. But I find it funny that he's in this, and this nigga's like 55 years old. He looks exactly the same. It's crazy. So yeah, this is a very interesting movie. So we'll go through it.
It opens up with two cops in a squad car, and over the official police band, the official police radio, one official deputy of the city to another official deputy of the city goes on their radio and says, "A nigger hustler done ripped off the poker palace."
That's how it starts, guys. That's how it starts.
They don't give a fuck. Like, yeah, some 10-4, yep, some nigger just ripped off the fucking poker palace. Like, what the fuck?
That's how it starts. Just to let you know where the line is here.
The cops see a black guy running, and they're like, "Well, it must be him."
You just beat the brakes off this dude.
Yeah, they catch him in a train yard, and they beat the crap out of him. And all of a sudden, the train pulls up, and Duke Johnson, which is like that, like that's the perfect like wrestling name.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Like fucking Ice Long Rod, fucking Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson, and his brother's name is Ben. Okay, bro. What the fuck were your parents doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, Duke Johnson gets.
They hated his brother.
Yeah.
They thought nothing of him.
And Duke sees this guy getting his ass kicked, and cops, and he's just like, "Oh, y'all the welcoming committee," and the cops are just like, "All right, have a good time, nigga."
Yeah, we're gonna be welcoming your ass later. I always like the well seasoned stereotype of the shithead white cops in these movies.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to the white actors in these movies for really playing, like in all blaxploitation movies, just playing the dirtiest niggas on the planet all the time. Like, I'm going to be in this movie? Yeah, you're going to be a piece of shit racist. Oh, again? All right.
No,
I mean,
it's more like,
okay.
No, don't give him credit. It's more like, do I get to say nigger?
That's
Sure
true.
Can.
Yes.
It's like, I'll work scale.
You know what? I'll volunteer. I don't even need to get paid. Like, why do you keep yelling? Oh, is this not a movie? That's weird. Sorry. I thought that was a camera. My bad. No, I'm always amazed by the, like, and that happens with black actors too, right? When you just get stereotyped as like criminals all the time. Like, again, nigga, I gotta play a piece of shit again? Yes. Right. You gonna eat this week? All right. Then get over there and yell nigger at that black fella. Like, all right.
Every Middle Eastern / Muslim actor is just like,
I guess
it's a living.
La 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 la. Allahu Akbar. Like, oh man.
Like, we're gonna cast you in a new show starring Kiefer Sutherland called 24. What's it about? Well, Kiefer Sutherland plays a terrorist hunter. All right.
All right. Where's my headscarf that I have to wear? I hate this job. Do I get paid double? Like, yeah. I can't imagine wanting to do that or having to do that to make it in Hollywood. But I mean, that's the plight of every black actor, for the most part in the last, like, forever.
Duke Johnson gets off the train and he heads to a club named the Alabama. It's closed, so he heads to a hotel.
No, hold on a second. The guy who drives him there, like this taxi driver or whatever, he's like, "Hey, I'm trying to go to the club Alabama." It's not Alabama, by the way. It's Alabama. And he's like, "I'm trying to go there." He's like, "All right, cool. I'll drive you there." And he drives him there, and he's like, "It's closed." He's like, "Why are you telling me it's closed?" He was like, "You didn't ask." Yo, what the fuck? What you mean I didn't ask? You just trying to rip me off, yo. Cab drivers are the worst.
So he's like, "All right, take me to a hotel." He's like, take me to a nice hotel." He's like, "We ain't got no nice hotels." Like, well, you got a hotel that changed the sheets every other day?
Right.
Where the fuck am I at? And he's like, "Oh, I'll take you down to the Hotel Dixie," which don't go anywhere where the word Dixie is in the title.
I was once in New Orleans for a wedding. And it was like real Southern, like classic Southern wedding.
Was that that fancy one where you had to travel by helicopter or some shit?
No. No, and I didn't have to travel by helicopter. Don't tell people fucking bullshit like that.
You had to go to their compound.
It was an island though. That part is true. It wasn't by helicopter, but it was on a specific island, which is nuts. That was a lovely wedding. I'm not rich. I swear to God, I'm not. I just know rich people. But a helicopter to an island. That's so fucking insane. No, but I went to a wedding in New Orleans, and I was like a real traditional Southern New Orleans wedding for friends of ours, and they down there they have Dixie beer, like and I was like, oh, I don't know if I feel okay drinking this, like it didn't have like the rebel flag on it, but I felt like it almost did, like it was secretly emblazoned on the bottle, but then I tasted and I was like, a good ass beer. Like it was like pretty good. I was like,
tasted it and was like, I do declare.
It's like maybe the South will rise again. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's not so bad. Yeah, Dixie beer's pretty good. Anyway, go ahead.
So he heads to the hotel and he's greeted by a 10-year-old who gives him the lowdown on where to find some women, and which is funny to me. Like it's just funny to me.
Yeah, this little kid was like, let me tell you where the pussy's at. Let me tell you, you want drugs? I was like, man, if you were such a little fast ass down, go ahead somewhere.
But, kids did that, apparently.
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, they do it in the Yakuza video games. Some little kid is just like, yo, I can take you to get some fucking nice some girl. I can meet you some girls, man. Let's go. It's like, all right, well.
It's a video game. I guess I'll go to the prostitutes.
He checks into this hotel, and we find out that Duke is in town to bury his brother Ben. The hotel clerk, who looks like a sommelier that I used to know, secretly informs the chief of police that Duke is in town. And then we cut to the chief of police eating dinner by himself in uniform at home.
Sad.
Two candles just kind of flanking him as he's about to eat his steak. It was just a weird shot. Like I get it, right? Like he's saying grace, and you want the grace,
why
prayer? Well, you want the prayer to lead into
the next
this fucking rich white guy to lead into the next scene. Which I get the shot is dumb, but I understand why he did it.
Now before that, which is really weird, like right before he checks into the hotel, there's a scene of three people walking away from the hotel, or Motel Dixie or whatever, and it's two guys. All three of these people are white. It's two guys and a woman, and they're talking about something, like you kind of catch it in mid conversation, and the woman's like, "And if we go back to your place, I'll basically I'll fuck both of you." At the same time, I was like, "Okay, wow."
Yeah, she was straight up. I just want to see your color green, and then I'll show you a good time. Like,
both of you. Right. These guys were like, "Oh, word? All right." Yeah, Bucktown is a wild town, man.
You want to spit roast this pig? Like, all right, lady. Jesus Christ.
Here's the thing. No, I don't. I actually don't. But they definitely did.
They did. Cut to Ben's funeral. For this guy being his brother, he sure is very far away from the proceedings.
I thought that was weird. He's standing away, like, I don't want to fuck this up for people. Like, nigga, that's your brother. Go stand over there.
So after they actually put the body in the ground, Duke comes up and he meets some of the people that were there. He meets Harley, Aretha, and Stevie. And Aretha chastises Duke for not being around to help Ben when he needed him. And to which I say, Ben is a grown-ass man, dog. Like,
yeah. Fuck I'm supposed to do?
What I'm supposed to do? He didn't call me. We don't have what they call cellular phones in the future. I don't know what you want.
I did like Waldo Harlot. He's hugging Aretha, played by Pam Grier, and he's literally just drinking out of a bottle. Like he is a complete and utter drunk. I appreciated his character.
Yeah, Harley. Again, you got the sidekick. You got the girl. You got two sidekicks in this movie. Like this movie had everything that a classic blaxploitation movie has.
Yep.
It just didn't. It didn't. They got the black, but didn't do the exploitation.
Yeah, you're right. They took it too seriously.
Yeah, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, this could have been a massive hit.
Yeah. According to Ben's will, Ben left everything to Duke, but apparently it takes 60 days to close the estate. So instead of just coming back in 2 months, he's allowed to use the items in the will before the estate closes. He's allowed to use them. So I guess that's his reason for staying, is that he's allowed to use them even though he doesn't want to. All he had to do was bribe the guy that was in that biting that banana in Belly.
He does look like him. That's his great grandfather. No, but it's really funny. That scene is hilarious because he's reading all of the things that are his brother's possessions, and he's like, one wallet with $39.99 in it or whatever. And he's like, yeah, but you're gonna have to wait 60 days to get this. And he's like, of course we could shorten that. And he's like, okay, how? Like he sees the bribe coming. He's like, perhaps you could say you're signing over that you received an empty wallet. I'm like, nigga, he bribing y'all for $39? Like, okay. I understand, time and everything, but like $39 wasn't $1 billion like this guy. Like, it wasn't like they found $1,000,
Right.
Still $40. Like,
Right.
it's not that crazy in 1975.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, instead of just coming back to Bucktown from wherever the hell he is, he's trapped. He's trapped there for 2 months.
Yeah, I'd have left. No, this town stinks.
I never came back. It's called Bucktown, Like it's nah.
No, I'm not.
There is a Bucktown. It's in Pennsylvania.
No.
That's all I need to know.
Rural Pennsylvania? Yeah, I think not. I think not.
So he has to stay there for 2 months. Duke has to stay for 2 months and plans to sell the club Alabama. So he asked Waldo to help him find a buyer, Waldo Harley. He asked Harley to help him find a buyer, and Harley and Stevie tell Duke that it'll be easier to sell the club if it was open, right?
Makes sense.
You got a bunch of people, it's on and popping. People see how much business is bringing in. It makes total sense, right? So Duke agrees to run the club, but he got to get it open. And in order to get it open, he heads to the police station because this town is so small that when the I guess it was taken through civil forfeiture.
Yeah, right. The police department was like, nah, this is ours now. Close it. Like, what the fuck? Again, this is a very political movie. Civil forfeiture is a real problem.
Duke heads to the police station to figure out how to open the club. And the cops try to extort Duke for the license to open up the club.
Yo, these guys, he was like, how much is it to open a club back up? He was like $400. And he looked at it and he was like, nah, I think it's $450. I'm like, all right, Merrill. Like, if y'all two rednecks don't get out of my goddamn face with this bullshit, he should have beat the brakes off of both of them right then.
Right. Like, come on, man. I mean, I do love the swagger of just like, oh, you the chief? All right. And then you just walk in there like, fuck up.
Yo, he literally like just pushes past. He's like, yeah, all right, get the fuck out of here. Like the guy tries to stop. He's like, man, I'm like, it's 1975. They'd have killed your black ass in this little ass town and you'd have never been heard from again. But he don't give a fuck because Fred Williamson is perpetually the coolest nigga on earth in every movie he's in. Like it's kind of amazing. Even the police chief is like, you don't care much for manners, do you? And he's like, not really, nigga. Like,
I get what I get, bitch.
Yeah, he just sat down and just started smoking a cigar right across from this guy's desk. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, answer my questions. I mean, he literally calls the two cops outside of the room crackers, like straight to the police chief. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of amazing.
That's a term we all need to bring back, man.
Yeah, I think cracker is acceptable, right?
Cracker and my favorite is honky.
Honky's good. They bring up Paleface in this one, which I thoroughly enjoy. That's a good one.
Paleface is amazing. Change them to the Washington Palefaces and see what the fuck happens.
Oh, why are people so mad? The Washington O phase, right? Like the DC O phase, that probably works, right? It's just not a big deal, right? It's just it's just a racial slur we're using, right?
It's just a name, guys. It's just a name. It's no big deal.
Yeah, if black people all painted their faces white every time they went to a Redskins game, right?
Right. Start acting like a bunch of fucking. All right, never mind. This political ass movie, got me in my political bag right now.
Bucktown, the pinnacle of political movies we've talked about.
So the chief is like, look, you want to open a club, you gotta give me $450. And Duke pays it because the chief, we found out that they were extorting Ben. So he's like, and the chief is like, your brother was past due on his payments. So now you got to pay up if you want these keys. So Duke pays the chief, right? And Duke, like a real nigga in 1975, he don't carry a wallet. You got money in a clip and just break it off.
Like it's nothing.
Break it off. Like it's nothing. $450. Bitch, I ain't got $450 right now.
Right. Like Duke walking around with $450 in 1975. Like it's nothing. No.
That he could throw away.
No. I don't feel like Duke's earned this money and going to a 9-to-5 job. That's what I feel like.
So a couple of cops are going around collecting protection money. One of them stops to see Cleo, prostitute. And this Larry Appleton looking nigga is he act like he ain't never seen a woman before because he tries to suck her whole face off.
Yeah, Johnny Appleseed needs to relax. Yo, you need to calm down.
Like, God damn, yo.
I imagine I mean I won't be there, but I imagine this is going to be what Cam's first time is like. Excited about a prostitute. Crazy. See, that's just being mean to be mean. But yeah, no, this dude doesn't know how to be with a woman. What's funny is like 1975, like I'm pretty sure they straight up had their mouths open during that kiss. I was like,
this ain't like they don't know how to act, right?
Nah, like, she was like, do it.
1975. In 1975, they didn't put socks on the dick, and
they was just fucking.
It was fucking. Because that's what making movies was like in 1975.
Pretty much.
You trying to tell me Fred Williamson wasn't having sex with Pam Grier for real in that scene? I don't fucking believe you.
If I was him, I'd be like, look, we need to be method on this.
Right.
Real method.
Just this nigga walking around with big dick energy and tight ass pants.
Yeah.
Pam Grier looking like Pam fucking Grier.
Yeah, knock it off. Here, knock it off. Knock it off. I bet, look, we need to be method for this. I'm taking this bullshit ass movie very seriously. Very serious.
Harley heads into a bar to announce that the Alabama is open.
And, Pam Grier looks fucking dope as shit in this scene when it opens. Like where she's sitting there smoking a cigarette. Yeah, she looks cool as shit.
Yeah, Pam Grier's off. I mean, I ain't telling nothing that ain't nobody already know, but like,
yeah,
Pam Grier is just fucking beautiful.
Yeah, she's the next level woman. She really is.
Aretha is very cynical, but Harley has faith in Duke. That he's going to open up the club and everything's just going to be like it was. It's just we swapped out one Johnson for another Johnson.
Yeah,
and
not exactly.
Yeah, not quite. The cops head over to the Alabama. And that Larry Appleton dude who had sex with Cleo, he's just like, yo, she got a mouth as soft as a prune or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? That's a weird way to describe someone sexually.
Yeah, again, it's going to be very weird for him on his first time. Very weird. Yeah, it's like, what are her boobs feel like? Bags of sand. I don't know.
They felt like roasted marshmallows.
Like, nigga, what? Meet more prostitutes. Come on.
An overripe plum. Oh, yeah, all right.
That's a real weird. Like, is that an insult? Are you trying to be rude? Because it feels like you're just being rude.
The cops head into the bar, and they tell Duke that he needs to pay $100 a week protection money. The cops need protection money from all these people, right? And they say you got to pay $100 a week or else, implying that they beat Ben to death for not following the rules.
Right. Now, $100 a week in 1975 is a lot of money.
It is. Look, nigga, $100 a week right now. I ain't got $100 that I could just give to someone. I ain't got $400 a month to just give.
That's a real ass bill.
Right. That's a bill, yo.
That's like half your Comcast bill. Like, that's crazy. You can't afford that. Yeah. Protection money is like, that would be one of the reasons I would be afraid to open a restaurant. Because, like, if you come to me like, yo, we need you to pay the money, I'd be like, I'm not. Just close it down. I'm not paying that. Like, I'm not.
I ain't got time for all these shenanigans.
No,
man.
fuck
like,
that.
Get out of here.
No.
Duke tells them to either go out the door or go through the door.
Nigga, that's a dope line, yo. That's a dope line.
Now look. I laughed at this next line. Just know the context, right? One, I'm doing what white people do. I'm quoting it. I'm quoting the movie.
It's okay.
I'm quoting the movie, and this was a different time. Okay. But after Duke tells them that they need to go out the door or through the door, Stevie asked the cops, he said, why you pale faces always together? Are you faggots?
Yo, and then they proceeded to beat the bricks out of his little ass.
Picked up the little kid and fucking threw his ass. And dude was like, nope, can't have you beating up kids, even if they, aren't exactly up on current LGBTQ
No.
terminology that you're not supposed to use. No.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, it makes sense for the time, right? Like, that's how people talked. It, obviously is wildly unacceptable. But it is the way they talked then. It was jarring. Dude. I was like, yo, Stevie,
I couldn't believe it.
Take it easy. Like, Jesus Christ.
You hear a word like that, Stevie, and then I remembered I grew up in the 90s. Like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
Come on, then.
So this nigga was 15 years earlier. Like, yeah. I did appreciate this fight scene as the cops go over to, because the cop goes over, he's like, I'm going to call you by your first name, nigger. I was like, yo, that's mad disrespectful. I was like, Fred Williamson is going to beat his ass in this scene. And I was waiting on it, and boy, did it come.
This fight was pretty cool.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
The best part of it was when Fred Williamson picked up a pool cue and did a jumping fucking strike.
Yeah,
and broke the pool cue off on the guy's back.
Yeah, it was basically like a Superman punch with a pool cue.
Yeah.
I appreciated the cop doing a drop kick.
Yeah, he did like a jumping forward roundhouse kick.
Yeah, like that wasn't bad. I wasn't expecting that from like a hillbilly. And then Fred Williamson fucking bulldogged him, which was dope.
Fred Williamson at one point blocked a punch with his hand, and then fucking smacked his face, and then punched him with the other hand. Like, all right, we getting there. Like, this is, it took 20 minutes, but that's generally what it takes for a movie to get going, right? And I thought there was going to be a lot more of this, right? But,
I mean, there comes a time in the movie where there's like a lot of beats of action because they're just going to work on these cops, but then it slows down considerably after that.
Yeah. And then he drags their ass out.
Yo, he hit that. He hurt. Yo, he looked like he really hurt that dude with that pool cue. I hope that was fake.
Hold a pool cue? Shit is fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, dude. He broke that shit in half. It's like, wow. That guy was like, and I'm out. Done.
He broke that shit in half with like the heavy end hitting the guy. Like, bruh. Nah, yo.
Yeah, a pool cue is a pretty decent weapon, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. It's the weapon of choice of side-scrolling beat-em-ups everywhere.
Pretty much.
Duke, after the fight, Duke is upset that Harley and Aretha didn't tell him what was going on in this town.
Yo, their excuse is wild. Well, people were going to scam you anyway, so that was like, we didn't want to tell you. Right. That's not... What? Okay.
And that's like you pointed out earlier. Or you didn't ask if the club was closed. Like,
Yeah, I don't like this town, yo. It's a lot of pedantic assholes, man. Like, come on, man. What the fuck?
You didn't ask if the law was corrupt.
So how did we know?
It's 1975. It's assumed that the law is corrupt.
Right. I only really need you to tell me, like, these 4 cops are corrupt. Like, that's all I need. You don't have to explain whether it is or isn't. I already know they are. But then Duke just like breaks into the police station and he's like, and starts just yelling at the chief of police, like, "You son of a bitch, I'm not paying any money." I'm like, again, you're wildin'. You're wildin'. But he just don't give a fuck. And I appreciate that about this character.
The chief's excuse for the extortion is that the department just doesn't get enough money. They defunded us, guys. They defunded us, so we have to run an old school protection racket.
I mean, again, I'm watching this and I was like, I thought the same thing. I was like, this is basically just like the defunding of the police. Like, this movie is much more poignant than you would think.
Oh, shit.
Ground up reform, guys. Otherwise, you know, like you might have white supremacy be taken over by black supremacy, as Terry Crews would say. More on that later.
He tells Duke that they aren't giving up on Ben's case and tells Duke that Ben was beaten to death. And the chief tells Duke that a smart man would stay out of trouble and just get along. Just get along.
Yeah, I'd have hit that nigga with a pool cue too.
Yeah, I'd have did a fucking jumping, swinging Superman punch with a pool cue also. Aretha pays a visit to Duke and tries to apologize. This nigga answers the door in red bell bottoms and an open shirt. And I mean,
as you do, as you do.
Right.
He peeped her from the window. Was like, let me get this shirt open. Hold on.
Hurry up, undo this real quick. Like the shit.
Let me find the tightest pants I have in my closet.
The shit don't even look like it have buttons, yo. The shirt don't look like it have buttons on it. It's like, what are you doing, yo?
It probably doesn't. There's no way.
The bell bottoms are so tight they might as well be leotard. You know? Like, yo, what is going on here, yo?
Yeah, don't ever talk about how people dress today, yo. Like, yo, knock it off. These niggas were out here. Yo, that shirt does not have buttons on it. Like, it's not designed to have buttons. Yo, there's no buttons, yo. Wow. Nope. Nah. He don't even have buttons on the sleeves. Don't even have buttons on the fucking cuffs.
That shirt is,
I mean, it could be cufflink shirt, I guess.
That shirt is not meant to be. That shirt is your "I'm about to fuck you" shirt. Like,
yeah,
it's you put it on to take it right back off.
Right. He don't even wash that motherfucker. It stay on for 9 seconds. It's to walk from your bedroom down to the front door, let in whoever you're sleeping with that night, and close the door and throw that bitch right on a pile of other clothes in your bedroom. Like, knock it off. He'll never wear that shirt outside. That's fucking hilarious. I do like the fact that Duke wears, no matter what the situation is, he got his chain on the entire fucking movie. He has the most vicious fight at the end. That chain never comes off. He's not like, I want to get this shit snagged. Nothing. He's like, nah, I got to keep the chain on.
So Aretha comes over there to apologize, and Duke can't believe the people in town just let the cops walk all over him. And Aretha thinks that Duke just doesn't know what it's really like to have to hustle to get by. They argue. So of course, you know, this is a movie. There's so much sexual tension. This nigga he got his taco meat out, and he's just like, they argue, and it's just like, all right, well, you know what's about to happen. We about to do this. And yeah, they get to fucking for real. It's Fred Williamson and Pam Grier.
Yeah.
Come on, yo.
Well, those are lovely.
Yes, they are. Look at her face. Look at her face. You trying to tell me she ain't that ain't look, I like Pam Grier. She ain't that good of an actress.
I'd like to think that they just fucked for real. They were just like,
not?
Whatever.
Why not? Who cares?
They're 2 good looking people. Let them do the thing. the camera guys were like, "You want us to leave?" Like, no, just keep rolling. It's fine.
Nigga, the camera guy is like
He's trying to get as close.
I think he's holding that shit with one fucking hand.
It was the first shaky cam footage, whether he wanted it to be or not.
Right. That's what. But they called it shaky cam because they couldn't call it jerk off cam.
Yeah, jerky cam doesn't really. It creates questions. Why is the camera jerking around? You know what? It's really not important.
You know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it doesn't jerk around at any other point in the movie.
Yeah, it does not.
Fucking cameraman getting his rocks off. 3 people busted nut that day. Afterward, the cops roll up on Duke's place and they start shooting the windows out, telling him that you can get out of town, nigger.
Get your black ass out of town.
I did like that delivery. Like again, white people. He worked for free that day.
Yeah,
get your black ass out of town.
He was like, no, I brought this shotgun from home. No, these are real bullets. Oh, Fred Williamson, an actor. Oh, okay, all right. I didn't know that. Sorry. I heard a cross burning was happening. I just came from home.
After the warning, Duke overhears the chief tell the other cops not to kill him for fear that the folks at the Capitol would get suspicious that 2 people from the same family died on their watch within like a week. It's like, all right, let's just hope it scared them.
I do like that the chief of police is very concerned about like the national law or the state law and what they'll notice versus other characters who don't give a fuck that an entire police squad gets wiped out. They're like, no one will check. It'll be fine.
I mean, he knew what was up.
Yeah.
He was just too scared to do anything about it. Aretha pleads with Duke to run, but Duke ain't no bitch. And his name's Duke.
That's how it works.
He's got a different idea. So Duke calls his friend Roy to come help him and told him to bring some muscle, right?
Yeah. Oh boy. Oops.
Yeah. So Duke and his gang, consisting of Josh, Hambone, and TJ, they arrive in town, and as soon as they get there, they see a fucking cop. TJ is just like, he steps on the motherfucker's hat, and it just straight up is like, yo, you looking kind of sloppy there, boy. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, these niggas ain't give no fucks.
This is what I love about blaxploitation, yo. Like niggas just did whatever the fuck they wanted.
No, I mean, it's a power fantasy, right? Like, because black people were so disempowered across the U.S., these movies was like, oh, we get to make the movies? Oh, let me show y'all what it's like on the other side. And they just didn't give a fuck. And I who doesn't love that?
Yeah. So these 3 are walking down the street looking like they're wearing suits that were made from your grandmother's curtains, right? 70 suits. Some of them look good, some of them look sharp, and other ones just look like they itch. You know what I mean? They look like you put them on and you just start scratching.
Yeah, no kidding.
They head over to the Alabama to meet with Duke and the others. And they all give Roy and his gang the lowdown on the town. And the cops are stalking the group, right? One of the cops tells the chief that he's a bit worried about this whole situation. But the chief, and I figured you would get a kick out of this, the chief tells the cop that, don't worry, we're the law. God's on our side.
Yeah. Oh, word? Yeah, okay. Yeah, that shit ain't work out too well for y'all. Looks like God was not playing favorites. He forgot to tag in. He was busy watching TV or some shit.
It looked like Jesus really was black.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? I think the black fella's going to take this one.
So they, for some reason, TJ is a pedophile, and he finds these 2 very looking young white women.
I don't care for this.
I don't care for that either. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this nigga at all. And he's like, hey, boss, look what I got. Had some fun with these two. And Roy was like, nigga, if you don't get this jail bait out of here, we came to murder people, not fucking rape underage girls. Have some scruples, nigga.
Yeah, TJ's like, oh, so later then? Okay, cool. All right. What I find to be hilarious about this movie, this fits in line with the like movies with a great concept that weren't executed particularly well. I could see a modern remake of this and it working really well.
Would you?
Yeah. Okay. How about this? TJ played by Leon. You can't see it?
There was a modern remake of this.
Really?
Yes. Joshua Pope returns to his home in a small town to reclaim the inheritance that his father left him. Once there, he finds the local police have corrupted the town and are ruling with an iron fist. So,
please tell me this is not that fucking movie with The Rock.
With the help of an old friend and his cohorts, Pope sets out to reclaim the town he once loved. It's a movie called Full Clip.
I didn't know that movie.
And I'm sure you don't, because it stars as Joshua Pope, one Buster Rhymes.
No.
And his friend Duncan, played by Exhibit.
All right, I take back everything I said. This does not need to be remade. Wow. Full Clip?
I do get your point, though. I do get your point. I think this exact movie could be redone. If you're going to take it seriously, then take it like, then the quality has to be up to snuff, right? Like,
right. It's goofy quality with trying to take it seriously with like is it intellectually higher budget with not a high budget in reality.
Right. And but I can also see this the other way too.
Oh, 100%. I'd actually prefer it be remade, but just go balls to the wall.
Yeah, like just have fun with it, man.
Yeah, like make Fred Williamson's character like Idris Elba or something like that. Roy's character, who's like a really good, like bad, like a really good like villain black actor.
Bokeem Woodbine.
Boom, nailed it. Yep, 100%. I'd watch the shit out of that. Yeah, fuck yeah. Actually, isn't that, what was it? What's the movie that he was just in with fucking Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, Sterling Confidential, whatever.
Spencer Confidential.
Yeah.
It's basically the same kind of story. That was not a great movie. But I enjoyed it for its simplicity.
It was something to watch.
Yeah, it was.
So Duke and Roy come out of a club after devising a plan to take out the cops, right? The way the scene is cut, they intercut them talking about the plan with them actually executing the plan. That's always
a good method of filming. I like that.
And it gets filler out of the way, right? Like it's because this movie is a tight 94 minutes, and we don't want too much, fluff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, just narratively, it's okay to explain things, but it's better to show them. It's far better to show them. So if you're going to do that, if you're going to explain it, also show it simultaneously, right? Like that's what the Ocean's movies do all the time, which is always really fun. Like it's a fun storytelling device.
Well, the Ocean movies, like part of it depends on the film, right? Like Mission Impossible movies, they tell you about the plan, but the plan is so ridiculous.
Right.
Like they get you amped up. Like, how are they going to execute this plan?
Right.
And then the payoff is them executing the plan amongst shenanigans. So
right.
It can be done either way, but stuff like this, where you're just like taking people out, like, let's just get to it.
Yeah.
And so that's the style of filmmaking here. They approach an undercover cop, right? They know he's a cop, and they like, hey, light my cigarette for me, pig, and why don't you follow me and follow us? I dare you, punk ass. And Duke and Roy continue laying out the plan as Duke tells Roy about each of the cops. And Roy is constantly inferring that he's going to kill the cops, and Duke seems kind of surprised by that. He's like, "Nah, yo." Roy would say something like, "Yeah, and we're gonna put him to sleep permanently."
Like
Duke is like, "I wonder what he means by that."
like, yeah, for good, as your boy would say. Yeah. I like that it's just like the sort of budding break between Iron Man and Captain America here.
Yeah.
You know, like it works narratively very well.
So the plan is enacted. Hambone meets up with one of the cops at the whorehouse and beats him to death with a baseball bat. Like that last hit is just like right in the head, dude. I'm
telling you, Carl Weathers should have been a fucking superhero.
He should have, man. He really should have. And like that last hit, yo. Like, oh, please God. And then he takes his a little satchel. Roy and Duke meet up with another one at his home. That dude escapes down the fire escape and tries to get in his car. But fucking Carl Weathers putting in work. He's waiting for him. And he takes a shotgun. The guy hides behind his car. He takes a shotgun from, how far would you say that is?
Jesus, I'm just rewatching that bat scene. God damn.
Yo, he hit the shit out of him with that bat.
It kind of ricocheted off his head. It's fucked up. Demetrius, you gotta chill out, yo. You gotta relax with that baseball bat. Yeah, I mean, he's probably a good 100 feet away with a shotgun.
Yeah, yo, and he takes that shotgun, unloads 6 shots into a car, and the shit blows right the fuck up.
Yo, I love action movies because that shit don't make no sense.
It blows up and the cop dies from the explosion.
And like it's kind of a cool scene because, you know, like after the cop is dead, Hambone, played by Carl Weathers, he walks up and you can see like the flames reflecting off of his shirt, and it kind of like weirdly like front lights him, making him look really fucking sinister. Hey, that's a cool shot. I'll give him that.
Look like the motherfucking devil, yo.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, shit looks fucking awesome. Might have to make that the new cover page. That shit looks cool.
Yeah, you know what? Let me do that.
Cut to one of the cops who's chastising a maid by calling that person a dumb Sambo.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a wildly unaccepted turn of phrase, but it's also kind of funny.
He said, I want my hamburgers with mustard. I want them without ketchup, but with mustard. Like, just say you want mustard, no ketchup. You know, that's just a very wordy way of saying that.
Right. Right. It's just like, I don't think that person's a dumb Sambo as much as you a dumb cracker, but like, whatever, like, you know, 6 on one ham, half a dozen on the other, I guess.
And what's his name? Josh ambushes that cop in his home.
Yeah.
And he kills him with a sawed off, but not before. Like, he says some shit like,
he says, "Do you know any prayers, cracker?" And he was like, well, you better learn some, or some shit like that. Like, it's kind of a dope line. And look, it's fucked up to have a nigga say some dope ass lines like that, shoot you with a double barrel sawed off shotgun while wearing a corduroy jacket, my nigga. Like,
right. This nigga said, you know any prayers, cracker? Well, you should have learned some, or some shit, right? And he shoots him. You see the blood pop on the guy's chest, and then he says, should have had to catch up.
It's a good line. It's a good series of lines. It's not bad.
I don't know why I like that line. I really like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's ridiculous, but it's good.
Duke and Roy meet another cop at a gambling den, and the cop takes this black woman hostage, and he heads out, and he drops the hostage and tries to flee. Roy shoots the cop in the arm, and Duke shoots the cop in the ass.
Yeah, these niggas was having a blast in this scene. Shit was hilarious.
It was like, gotta hit him where it hurts, man. Shot him right in the ass, right? And then all of a sudden, TJ comes out and just blows that nigga away. Shot him right in the back. And
he says he had no point in wasting good ammunition.
Yeah. That's a motherfucker. This dude used to be a bodyguard for Public Enemy, TJ.
I believe it.
Yeah, I believe it too. And you see Duke, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gonna kill him." Like, well, what the fuck you think we doing, nigga?
Like, I thought we were just embarrassing these guys by shooting. Like, that's weirdly Duke's whole thing is he's a violent guy, but like not a murdering guy, even down to the very last moment of the movie.
Yeah, he's like Batman.
Yeah, he will put you in a hospital with every bone in your body broken, but he won't kill you because he's a humanitarian.
So Hambone and TJ kill one more cop while that cop is banging this girl, and which you can let the man finish. Goddamn!
Like, you bust a nut? Bow! Oh shit!
Hurry up and bust a nut! Like, oh. Finally, Roy and Duke grab the chief, and the chief is just defiant, like any old white man would be, right?
Yes.
He's like, you ain't gonna kill me because that news will travel quickly. You'll have state troopers after you. I'm the only one that can keep you alive. So you
you're stuck.
Kill me.
Yeah. So
they decide to lock him up. They kidnap him basically and use him for leverage later.
Is that a smart move, you think? I just kill him and then just cover it up.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't say anything. Like, chief went on a vacation.
Maybe they didn't do it. Maybe they didn't do it because Duke was right there. And it's
maybe.
like, the other one could be the other one that TJ shot in front of Duke could be like, oh, that was a mistake. Well, oops, right? Didn't mean to kill him.
Right.
That's how I justify that scene.
All right, that's fair.
Roy and the gang meet with the mayor, this black guy, the mayor of this town, just letting these white cops run roughshod.
I mean, this guy is fucking useless. As a mayor goes, I mean, he's up there with the pinnacle of Baltimore mayors.
And that's the thing, you can name like 3 of them, and I don't know which one you're talking about because it's like all of them.
Yeah, they're all bad.
The mayor is appreciative and wants to thank them, Roy and his gang, by throwing them a parade.
Nigga, this scene,
Main Street.
Nigga, this scene was hilarious. He's like, let me think of something to do for you guys. And they were like, oh, I'm sure you could think of something. He's like, how about a parade? They were like, nigga, you better come up out of that wallet. Like, what the fuck? They were like, no parade. Like, knock it off. We're not 16-year-old girls. Like, I don't give a fuck about a parade. I'm trying to get paid.
And when they say no parade, he looks shocked. Like, no parade? Like, no, nigga, I don't want no fucking parade. Roy's got a different idea. We cut to Aretha. She meets with Duke at his place. Duke is passed the fuck out because he been hurting cops.
he's all tuckered out from taking down the law in the town all night.
And it's this funny little character moment, right? Like Aretha's like, hurry up, get up. And Duke is like, All right. Anytime's the right time.
Yeah, he thought she went to sleep with him. He was ready. I mean, look, again, that wasn't acting. Like they just had the camera on. Like he wasn't acting.
She's like, no, not that. I don't want that yet. Now, maybe later. But she tells him that Roy is not leaving town, and he's conned the mayor into letting Roy and the gang be policemen, which I was not expecting. No,
this is the big twist of the movie.
Yeah, and Aretha thinks that Roy. Aretha thinks that Roy says that saw the good thing that the chief had going for him, and now he wants it for himself.
Right.
And Duke can't believe it, but Aretha tells him that, it doesn't matter color when it comes to money. Everybody act the same. Everybody all act alike when it comes to money. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. An old thin blue line and all that shit, you know.
I mean, in this case, she's 100% correct. I mean, so that is the big twist of the movie, right? Which is these black dudes who came to quote unquote save the town end up just replacing the shitty white cops with them shitty cells. Right. And, leaning on people and extorting money and everything else, just like the white cops did. This is why we joked earlier about like it gets a little Terry Crews-y, where it's like you don't want to replace one supremacy with another supremacy. But I mean, that's silly, but also absolute power does corrupt absolutely.
Right. And it's not it would be the thing that makes Terry Crews' statement silly is that black people would have to run all the institutions. Right. And there just simply isn't enough of us to do that.
Right.
Like
that doesn't make sense.
Nobody is going to let that happen. Not just white people. Nobody is going to allow that to happen.
And some institutions are international institutions, so it doesn't even matter.
Right. So, it's not going to be, and I'm going to use an extreme case. It's not going to be a complete race reversal throughout the world. Like it can't, because it can't be. But, at the same time, this movie shows that, the law enforcement institution set up in this town is crooked.
Right. So the fundamentals of the police department are fucked. So you have to defund it, if you will, all the way to its bedrock in order to fix it. You can't fix it by just replacing a couple of cops on the top.
Exactly. Like I was shocked with.
I could not believe that this is an actual message in this movie. Like, let me rephrase that. I could not believe there was an actual message in this movie.
Right. Like I could not believe it when this started to play out. But sure as shit, here we are.
So can we talk about the villain here, which becomes Roy, right? His best friend, played by Thalmus Rasulala, which is one of the hardest names I've ever heard in my fucking life. It's the blackest name of all time. This guy is a good fucking villain. Like, he's a really good villain. And I've seen him in a number of blaxploitation movies. He's a good actor, too.
He is, especially in this role, because this role, he is a villain, but he's also sympathetic because he's being undermined by his crew and doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately believe he doesn't know that TJ is trying to drive a wedge between them and their friendship. I truly believe that these two are friends, and he is a bad guy, but he loves his friend, and he's trying to do this horrible shit, but look out for his friend. Like that is genuine. And it just like the relationship with these two, the fact that they play this so serious is one of the positives of the movie.
Yeah.
But I wish that they had a little. I don't want to see us fight. I just want to see us, beat the shit out of white people sometimes, man. Like,
right, and it is right, and it's wild because there is the notion of, I can't believe there's like a point to this movie, which is fucking weird. But there is a notion of making sure that you avoid not going down this road, right? Which is this road of just symbolic replacement of, like not digging deep enough into an issue to fix it, right? And you're just doing the surface work, right? Like that is something I am very much afraid of is going to happen with like fixing the police or dealing with racism and things like that, where it's like white people concentrate more on symbolism versus like the deep rooted things in racism. When it comes to police reform, it's like, okay, we'll just fire a couple of bad cops and then we'll move on. Like, no, they are deep seated issues, right? Like, you want to fix a lot of racism in this country, you have to fix the financial system in this country. Like it is based in race. Like, slavery was a financial institution, right? Like, so you have to fundamentally change those things. And the movie, or maybe we're just seeing that, right? Like, just because of the times we live in. But the movie does make the point, to me at least, and I think to you, like, these systems exist, but if you don't break the system fundamentally and change it fundamentally, you will just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and it'll just have a new face on it.
Yep. Yeah. Like, I couldn't believe this movie just hit like right on time.
Yeah, fucking weird, man. I just wanted to watch Fred Williamson smoke cigars, wear a cape, and shoot niggas. That's all I wanted. That's all I came for. And drive a tank, apparently.
It hit right on time, or nothing has fucking changed.
Well, therein lies the really sad revelation, is that it's probably the latter.
Right. Duke pays a visit to Roy. He questions why he hadn't left, and Roy says, he ain't leaving. Well, why don't you want in on this, bruh? Like, don't act all brand new just because you in the boonies now.
Right.
And Duke doesn't want to take advantage of people because, they're nice. And he met Pam Grier there. So,
look, I'm staying.
Roy tells Duke that they can compromise. Duke can run the club, and Roy won't lean too hard on him. Meanwhile, Roy will keep Duke's share of the take of all the protection money that they're getting in a safe and hold it for him until you come to your crooked senses.
Yeah, that's still not a very good answer. So you're still letting your boy lean on everybody, just not as bad. But they're still taking advantage of the black people, dude. Like, that's fucked up.
Right. Like, he's still a bad dude. Like, but that's why I really enjoy that character, man, because, he is very much a villain, but at the same time, like, this is what a sympathetic villain looks like. Like, I understand his motivations.
Yep.
I understand he has a genuine, like, rapport with the hero. And it is, and he's three-dimensional, right? He's not so evil that he refuses to listen to people, but at the same time, like, he's looking out for him.
Right. I mean, he has that sort of that bit of dialogue at the end where he's like, look, everybody is in it for the big G, the green. Like, they're all fighting. What does he say? They're all fighting to get a piece, or to get a taste or something like that. He was like, they're all fighting to get a scratch, and I'm just scratching a little harder. Something to that effect, which is a good line. And it's true. Like, the entire town, minus like one or two characters, seems to be completely focused on money, like prostitution or, running clubs and bars or corrupt cops, or, like, everybody is a part of the system of corruption. And he's like, what's the big deal? I'm just part of that system of corruption. Like, so what the fuck you mad at me about?
I'm better at doing Bucktown than Bucktown is at doing Bucktown.
Right. And, like, there is, again, I cannot believe this movie has a point. But there is a notion of why should, like, in the modern sense, right? Like, we take this and we talk about it, in what people are dealing with now. Like, there is the notion of, like, why should black people not riot and destroy, certain areas and things like that. Those, the people that they're fighting against, the people who have taken advantage of them for decades, right? They've gone in and destroyed their neighborhoods, not in the ways of burning them down, but by gentrification. It's the same thing, right? By buying up, low income housing and low income areas, and then pushing those people out of those areas, and then pushing them into, worse poverty stricken areas. Like, what is the difference? Are you bothered by the destruction of people's livelihoods and where they live, or are you bothered by just fire? Like, which one is it, right? It's like there's a fundamental argument to be made that those things are both destructive, but one, people just don't give a fuck about. One, gentrification, people are totally fine with.
Yeah.
So
we got to Hambone collecting. Cleo fails to come up with the increased tax, and she is chastised by Hambone. Hambone goes back to the hideout, to the police station,
right?
And TJ tells Hambone that he's got a plan to break Roy and Duke's friendship, so that the gang can get more cash and cut out Duke for good. So we cut to TJ, Josh, and Hambone getting Harley drunk at a bar to the point of belligerence, and he's drunk off his ass, and they're goading him into a fight, and Harley stands up and starts standing up for himself because they're making fun of him, and then they take these deputies essentially are take that as assault, and
right.
They are they feared for their life apparently. This movie.
Yeah. Cops pretended like they were in danger. They goaded someone into doing something and then hurt him.
Right.
Interesting.
I've never seen or heard that before. This movie.
Maybe that's why they took this movie seriously. Like like on the surface it seems so stupid, but like, yeah, maybe they weren't wrong. It wasn't, amazingly executed, but maybe they weren't wrong for taking it seriously.
Yeah. So they beat up Harley, and to the point that Harley's in the hospital. So Duke rolls up on Roy and tells Roy to keep his gang in check, and Roy is like, "Yo, what are you talking about?" And,
yeah, he legitimately doesn't appear to know.
Right. And Duke is like, "Look, you better keep them in check, or they're gonna have to deal with me." So Roy confronts TJ about what happened.
Fair enough.
TJ was like, "Oh,
this nigga was wild."
Yeah, he took a swing at me.
Why do I have to go on administrative time?
Right, exactly. Like, and all the crooked cops are fucking, because these guys are the cops. All the crooked cops are looking out for one another and shit, man. And
yep,
the wow. Aretha visits Harley in the hospital, just to be like, "Yo, what are you doing, yo?" They get their haircut at the Dixie Hotel.
Nah. As a man with a bald head, still nah. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you got whores running in and out of that place, man. Like,
can't be clean.
Not gonna have aftershave and Badussy in the same.
That's the name of the aftershave. A lot of people don't know that. Gross.
And the mayor tells the mayor's getting his hair cut, which just cut it off, bro. And
let it go. You getting a haircut, nigga? Your hairline is like back here, like just. You look
like you need to be. You look like you need to be time traveling with Black Marty McFly.
Yeah, right. You look a super.
The man tells Duke that things are 10 times worse with Roy as the chief. Oh man, I don't know how he conned me into letting him become the police chief instead of throwing a parade for him. Oh man, that's his fault though, because I don't have any control of anything. I'm just the mayor.
You could call the state. He's like, You're making a lot of good points, but no.
And let them know that I can't do my job. Like, nah, yo.
Maybe if we throw them a parade, maybe they'll calm down. Stupid ass.
Roy sees Athena at a bar, and he tries to convince her to get Duke to leave. And she was like, nah, yo. What if I want to stay? And what if he want to stay? And what if I want him to stay with me? And I like, all right.
Can we stop like these 45 scenarios?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what you want to know what my 5-year plan is? Too?
Right. Exactly. What if? All right. Enough. We get it. You're fine. We get it. God damn. I'm sorry.
TJ, at first the cops roll up on, black cops roll up on Aretha's place. What the fuck hat is TJ wearing? It is a blue, like army style hat with white polka dots.
It looks like a welder's hat. Like, like welder's hats tend to be like brightly colored or something like that. That's just a thing for some reason. And they're that weird shape. Like, I don't understand why he's wearing what I assume is a welder's hat.
Yeah. So TJ pays Aretha a visit at night with plans to rape her, hoping that Duke will think that Roy set the whole thing up.
Yo, I'm going to need niggas to chill out with like, here's my plan. I'm going to rape a woman. Yo, that's not a plan. That's a terrible idea. One, you're wearing a welder's hat. Two, don't rape.
And that's really prevalent in like these type of movies too.
Yeah, like I'm gonna rape this woman to prove a point.
Like I know like sexuality was a little bit different back then, but like goddamn, yo, like you can have your bad guys be bad guys and not be rapists, guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a thing that's changing now, thankfully, in movies and in stories. But yeah, like that's a big go-to trope in movies. Like, oh, how terrible is your villain? He just rapes women, like for sport. Like, nigga, what? Don't do that.
So he smacks up Aretha, but like an RKO out of nowhere, Duke comes in, kicks this dude.
Like in the throat.
Yeah, it was something wild, right? And he kicks his ass and throws him out, right?
He says that he's gonna break his arms first and then break his legs. That seems rather extreme, but I would have liked to see that. He doesn't do that, and I felt like Duke really got proven to be a liar in that scene, and I was disappointed. I wanted to see him just throw a damn near lifeless body right out that front door. That's what I want.
I mean, you tried to rape my girl, yo. Like you.
Yeah, you gotta die.
You lucky you alive, yo. Like,
nah, I'd try to kill that dude. Knock it off.
He'd have died, yo.
Yeah,
he'd have died.
He would have thrown his lifeless body right out that front door.
You got to break your one rule, Batman.
Black Batman.
Right. So fucking Duke. Cut to Duke getting ready to confront Roy. He walks into this room. Some poor schmo is just walking, minding his goddamn.
Yo. That shit is hilarious.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, he just knocked that dude straight off the couch. Like, knocked him onto and over a couch. Like, get the fuck out of my way. That shit was funny.
Duke confronts Roy about how he's taking over the whole town and things are worse than before, and he tells Roy to get his gang out of town.
Well, he throws his girl out at first.
Yeah, because women ain't shit in the 70s, boy. You just
fodder.
Roy yells at Duke about how he's not acting like the old Duke used to act.
Criminal.
Right. And no, he's tired and that Roy's being tired of being accused of the things that he's not doing. So Roy calls Duke storms out. Roy calls TJ and tells him, you know what, lean on everybody.
Hard.
Including Duke.
Yeah, seems like a bridge too far.
Yeah, buddy. Cut to Harley back at the club, all bandaged up. and he asks about Duke. And they tell Aretha and Stevie tell Harley that Duke's taking care of some business. TJ, Josh, and Hambone enter the club and cause a ruckus. And they arrest Harley because that's what fucking crooked ass cops do. They come in looking for trouble so that they can meet their fucking quotas.
Right.
So they start a fight. They arrest Harley.
They came into the club with a shotgun, cigars, and a bottle or a canister of gasoline.
Right.
I'm like,
burn the bitch down.
I'm like, yo, can y'all slow down a bit? Is this really gasoline or water? Because that's a trick you can do, right?
So Aretha tells Stevie to go find Duke. Meanwhile, Duke, this nigga is walking around like fucking Gordon Freeman, just walking around with a crowbar in his hand.
Right.
and Stevie finds him eventually and tells him what happened. So Stevie leads Duke to an armory. He's like, yo, hey, Stevie, what about that armory? We're gonna need some guns
to level the playing field.
And so yeah, they go off to the armory. While that happens, Aretha confronts Roy and tries to talk some sense into the man. And again, Roy is evil, but he's not like
he's not despicable,
mustache twirling,
right?
And
but this is where he gives that sort of soliloquy, and it's really good. Like it's a good like big villain speech. There's a weird moment in it though, and I'm sure you noticed it too. Like the writer clearly was like, Pam Grier is so fine that we can't allow a scene with the villain and her to be talking where he doesn't sort of mention how amazing she is, which is really weird. He's like, I'm just trying to get a scratch in this town, and fight for something, and then he's like, I never had a woman fight for me like Duke has with you, and maybe I envy him a little bit for that. I was like, wait, what? It was really weird, but he says that, and then he gets in his car, and she walks off, and he's just sitting there, and then he just like turns around and like checks her out as she's walking away. He's like, damn, that woman's fine. Like he has to acknowledge like how amazing of a person she truly is in that moment where he's talking about like all this serious shit. Like it's just kind of funny.
That's just the magic of Pam Grier, right? Like just like the most evil of dudes is just like, but goddamn, you fine girl.
Like if I had a woman like you, maybe I wouldn't be so evil. I would straighten up and fly right.
Maybe I would be good.
Yeah. Like, why don't we try that out?
If I had that magical pussy, everything would have been different.
Yeah, but I don't. You see that woman I was with? She make me evil. She's a terrible person.
You see it's your fault for not giving me no pussy. That's why I'm evil.
Basically. That's kind of his attitude. It's really quite funny.
Duke and Stevie break into the armory and steal a tank. I think they were using real bolt cutters and real chain because Fred Williamson looks like he's taking a little bit of extra effort to try and get
yeah, I have bolt cutters and look, they work great. But yeah, you gotta like depending on the size of the chain, you gotta put a little bit of effort into it. Absolutely.
They I don't know what this vehicle is, so I'm just gonna call it a tank.
It's some sort of light military tank.
Yeah.
This is the shit that military gives to the police in like Andy's town, like an MRAP. like why do they have one? Like I don't know. The police force
they have to take care of Thor.
Yeah, right.
If Thor gets out of pocket, you gotta have something to shoot at.
All the landmines in rural Nevada.
Athena goes to the police station to try and get Harley out of jail by trying to seduce TJ, but TJ ain't no dummy. You didn't want none when I was trying to. You didn't want me when I was trying to rape you. I know you don't want me now. That
nigga looks like he could be played by Leon. 100%, 100%. I could see Leon. Like in Leon's prime, he definitely could have played that dude.
Yeah. Because Leon looked evil too.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly right.
Yeah, and TJ, he was like, all right, come in, follow me. And takes Aretha to see Harley. And she's like, let him out. And Pam Grier, she's the chief of police and the old chief of police. And she sees Harley. She don't give a fuck about that guy because fuck you.
No, she was like, no, you can stay your corrupt ass right in there.
And she's like, I'm gonna get you out. So that Duke coming.
Yeah, I was like, yo, what are you, my dog? Like, relax, man.
It's like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah, he just started barking. Bark, Duke. It's like, yo, this nigga's right outside the jail cell, yo. Calm down.
And Pam Grier is like, you gotta get him to a doctor. And this nigga was like, you dumb broad. You come here to try to make a deal? I don't make deals. I take what I want.
And then he hit her with a gun in the face, dude. I was like, yo, TJ, you gotta relax.
Right before, he was like, I take what I want, just like this. And then he just fucking shoots that white guy because fuck him.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then he's like, now beg me. And then he proceeds to pimp slap her with a fucking gun, which is
unacceptable.
Ooh, Pam Grier just, god damn. And then, all of a sudden,
Tank Man shows up.
Yeah, fucking Fred Williamson comes up in his tank. He sees one of the cops and one of the deputized cops that don't have a name
or a uniform.
Right. And he gets in a car and tries to get away. And Fred Williamson is just running straight at him in this tank. And as soon as the cars hit each other, the cop car explodes, dude.
Which is how it works, right? Like that's how all accidents work. If you hit near the gas tank, it just explodes. It's a really weird design flaw in cars.
In every single car.
That's correct.
So Duke smashes into the jail to free his boy.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the tank, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, I was hoping they were gonna have more of a killdozer situation where he's just driving around, destroying shit.
I'd have been perfectly fine if this movie was just like if this movie was just 90 minutes of the first half and these dudes are just coming around to just kind of clean up the town and just like shooting, killing all these evil white people and shit.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, not the good white people. Both of y'all are great, but
Tom Hanks and Mr. Rogers are fine.
So he smashes into jail. He kills a couple of guys, including Josh and TJ. Then he gives Harley a gun, even though Harley's got bandages wrapped around his hands. I don't think Harley could.
And he's he's just perpetually drunk as far as I'm concerned.
Harley finds Hambone and kills him. And Hambone does this little kid death. I don't know if you've seen the meme of a dad playing with his lightsaber.
Yes.
And little kid, and the dad gives a killing blow, and the little kid turns around and he's just like,
That was basically Carl Weathers.
Right. That's what he was doing. He was like, yo, I'm going to make this scene worth it. You're going to remember me. And he got shot in the back, and apparently it instantly paralyzed him. Gave him rigor mortis, and then he died.
But doesn't he fires a shotgun up once too? He's like, "Oh, I'm stuck!" And then he goes down, which is just hilarious to me. Oh my god, that death was so goddamn ridiculous, so ridiculous.
Then he confronts Roy, the boss of this game,
the Mr. X, if you will.
And Roy tells Duke that he never lied to him, and that it was TJ that wanted them to tangle.
Yeah, it worked.
Yep, because even though we all know what happened, Roy still ain't trying to give up this good gig, right? So what's his name? Duke just says, I don't want to shoot you, my friend. I don't want to shoot you. I just want to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, I mean,
oh, we'll get to it. Because he's like, I want to beat the shit out of you. And he's like, all right. This loser leaves town. He's like, all right. So the two of them fight.
nah, yo, I'd have shot that nigga.
For a guy that don't want to kill his friend, they sure are fighting like two people that want to kill each other.
Yes, they are. But I'd have shot that nigga in the knee immediately. The second he put that shotgun down, bow, like, I was lying. Like, fuck out of here.
Like, I win.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of the
So they start fighting, and this ugly ass jacket that Roy is wearing gets ripped off. Roy tries to throw Duke off of a fucking balcony and shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys don't want to try to kill each other.
Right. Like, what the fuck, yo?
Well, in fairness, Roy didn't say that.
Well, yeah, hey, you're right.
Yeah, Roy was like, nah, fuck that. I'm trying to kill you.
It's like, because I know you ain't going to stop. At one point, Roy picks up a wastebasket, like a wastebasket. You know? like it's a wireframe wastebasket. Two of these niggas fight. They fall down a bunch of stairs.
And, you know, the funny thing about this, like, this scene is ridiculous, but this is far more like a real fight than the Hollywoodized, you know, everybody's a kung fu master kind of fights.
Well, yeah, it's a brawl.
And these niggas are exhausted.
Right. Like real fights, like, you know, most people get gassed in like 2 minutes because they throwing haymakers.
Yeah, barely 2 minutes. Barely 2 minutes.
And have no cardio. So they're, you know, they're tiring each other out. I say partially realistic because at one point Duke gives a Mortal Kombat uppercut to Roy, and then he does what no one does in a fight. Like Roy, after the Mortal Kombat uppercut, is laid out on a table, and then Duke gets in place and then jumps on him like
they tries to like frog splash him or some shit.
It's like, yo, nobody does that. Like that's very cartoon. That's very cartoon ass fight, yo. Like a cartoony move for a real ass fight like this. But at one point it turns into a ladder match.
Right. He tries to choke this nigga. He has this dude on one side of the ladder, and he's on the opposite side of the ladder. He's trying to choke him through, like, he's basically trying to decapitate him on one of the stairs of the ladder. It's a little odd, to say the least. It's a little strange. Again, he doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah, doesn't want to kill him. Like this scene where at one point one of them picks up a shovel and tries to hit the other with the spade of the shovel.
Yeah, yo, what the fuck?
And fucking Roy gets his nuts kicked in by
yo, devastating.
Like
devastating move.
They're standing on the top of a car, and the nigga fucking creeps up behind him and just like, bow, kicks him right in the balls, yo.
I mean, so Roy is standing to set the scene for that. He's got his feet on two separate cars, right? So his legs are wide open. Duke comes up and like puts his hands on the hood of both of those cars to sort of swing his body in almost like a trebuchet of ball kicking into his dick. Like, it's a devastating kick. The fight would have been over. Right. Like, full stop. That would have been it. You know what? I'm good.
Roy turns into Triple H and grabs a sledgehammer at one point, and Duke counters it with like a head scissors takedown or some shit.
But very slow. Very slow. Did you notice how bad the sound effects were in this scene?
Yeah, this is one thing that I never understood about movies of this era. They didn't have like score underneath a fight.
No, it's completely sound effects and just dead space.
It's all sound effects and no music. And it really it's weird, right? Like, I guess it's realistic because there's no music playing in an actual fight, but at the same time,
It's
I'm
weird.
watching a movie, guys.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Well, what's actually really fucking awesome though is right before, he like Duke beats Roy to basically to the point where like Roy has clearly lost, right? And Roy sits up a little bit and then he does like the villain thing, like, oh, you motherfucker. And then he like kind of falls back, right? It's like show enough when, like right before he loses, he just like leans up a little bit and falls down. That happens and the music kicks in immediately. And it's like this badass fucking score at the end and it sounds really good. And then Stevie is there with Harley and Pam Grier is there as well. And Stevie goes to run over to Duke, and Harley's like, "Nah, him and Aretha want to be alone for a minute." like they immediately like, "Nah, I ain't gonna be no little kid." Like, "Oh, you did great." Like, "Nah, fuck that. The hero's gonna go fuck this hot chick." That's what's gonna happen after this.
Then they were like, "Nah, we gotta go to bed, so we gotta go to school tomorrow." School?
Yeah. Like,
Nigga, what?
yeah, Stevie's like, "Fuck a book." Like, I'm not doing that. So this movie took place in Platte City, or I guess it's Platte City, and in Kansas City, Missouri.
All right.
All right. There you
That's
go.
where Bucktown is.
That's right, Kansas City, Missouri. I've been there. I don't know if it's this corrupt. It's pretty boring. It's just generally pretty boring.
So that's the movie. Everything will get better in Bucktown. That's the song that plays at the end.
Yep.
And it's this was a weird one. It was fine. It just wasn't what I expected, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But, it actually surprised me. It's been a while since a movie actually like surprised me. Especially given the time period that we're going through right now.
Yes, absolutely.
But it was okay. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't what I was looking for. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing like a serious remake of this.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling that people would. I get the feeling that it would be like an Oscar baiting movie, and as we all know, movies that talk about race, when they get a lot of Oscar buzz, they're not very good. So,
not if they're done even remotely by white people. No.
Yeah, and I think white people would eat this up, especially because it's like, see, the black people are villains now, but it's they wouldn't get that. No, it's not that the black people are the villains. Now it's that the system is fucked up.
Right. The system is the villain.
Right.
And I mean, I think it's a good lesson to remember, especially when you think of like black cops, right? Like black cops in and of themselves, were often touted as a way to solve the problem. Well, if you have people in the police force who look like them, then surely they won't treat black people shittily. But they're a part of a corrupt system. They are part of a damaged system. So it doesn't matter if they are red, white, blue, black, yellow, it doesn't matter, because the system in and of itself will change them. Yep. Right. And even if it doesn't change them, the system is designed to attract a certain type of person anyway.
Right.
That can be corrupted.
The system will kick you out.
Right.
And get and find someone that will play ball, that will get along.
Right. That's the whole point. So yeah, for me, I can't believe this movie had anything relevant to say, but it actually did, which is interesting. Our next movie, I won't spoil what it is. You'll find out in the next preview episode, but our next movie is not going to try and, it's not going to be hidden. The message will not be hidden. It will be very obvious. So look forward to that, preview episode coming up next week. Anything else before we go?
No.
All right. There you go. We will see you guys next week for a preview episode for episode 179. All right, guys.
See you
Later. You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.